Hi, this is Diane Lovetobake, and what we're going to make is a pineapple cherry coffee cake. I've been getting a lot of requests for people that said they wanted to see yeast coffee cakes, so that's why I'm doing this one. Now, I made the dough in a bread maker, a large capacity. This one goes up to 2 pounds. And I'm going to give you the ingredients right off the bat. They'll be below the video, so you'll be able to find them easily. You're going to need 3/4 of a cup of warm water, and that's 70 to 80 degrees Fahrenheit, and 1/4 cup butter. You're going to melt it and you're going to cool it. 1 egg beaten, 3 tablespoons, yes, I was right, of granulated sugar, 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt, and 3 1/3 cups of bread flour. Now, I've never made this recipe with regular flour, so I might get a question on that. So I've only used bread flour for this recipe. And on the filling, I used a 1/4 cup of granulated sugar and 1/4 cup of brown sugar. I used 3 tablespoons of a solid shortening. You can use butter if you prefer. I used 1/2 cup of maraschino cherries. I drained them very well with paper towels, and then I chopped them. And then I also used about 3/4 of a cup of pineapple, canned pineapple. You can use it in regular juice or, you know, light syrup or whatever, but you're going to drain it very well. I put that also on paper towels. I chopped it up to make sure that all the moisture was out of it. You can also put nuts in if you prefer, 1/4 cup of chopped walnuts or whatever type of nuts that you prefer. I'm not putting nuts in this particular one because who I'm making it for cannot eat them. So I'm leaving them out on this one. Now I'm going to take the dough out, and I want to tell you that I get 2 coffee cakes out of this. So this is half that you're seeing come out right now. So I'm just going to take the air out of it, a little bit of flour. Of course, you don't want to put too much flour on it. And then I'm just going to roll it out to a rectangle, and I'm going to try to make it about a 5 by 10. Okay, so I'm going to just use my rolling pin here, and then I'll shape the rest of it with my hands, but I'm going to try to even it out with my rolling pin. Okay, and I think we're going to need a little bit more flour on the countertop here. And then I'm just going to stretch it out. And like I said, you can make 1 large coffee cake if you want. That's up to you. The only thing is the timing and the baking will be a little different if you make 1 large one. I'll give you the times at towards the end here of the video. Okay, and I think we need just to stretch it a little bit more here. There we go. Okay. All right, that looks pretty good. All right, and the next thing that you're going to do is, what I did is, this is just the shortening and the brown sugar and granulated sugar. But this is half of the mixture, okay? I'd be having a lot more in that bowl if I was making 1 large coffee cake, okay? So just spread it out. Leave about 1 inch or so on the ends without any topping, okay? And then this is my cherry pineapple mixture. And then just sprinkle that on top. It doesn't look like it's going to be enough, but it really is. Okay. And then we're going to roll it up. And I'm going to roll the long end. And I'm going to roll it this way so hopefully you can see. And I'm not trying to roll it too tightly, but I do want to bring it all together. Then you do need to seal your seam. Of the dough. And then on the ends, I just fold it over like I'm wrapping a package. You might have your own way of doing that, so feel free. But that's how I do mine. And then I'm just going to bring it all together and shape it as evenly as possible. Square off the ends. Okay. And then of course you're going to need a baking sheet. You can heavily grease it, or you can use parchment paper as I have. Okay. Just want to make sure the seam is closed and the ends look good. Okay. And then we're just going to place that on the parchment paper. And let me grab my scissors. And what you're going to do is you're just going to cut into the coffee cake almost to the center, but not quite. Okay, and what I like to do now is I actually just take the coffee cake and I pull it so the cuts are more on the top, like that. Okay, there we go. I'm just making sure that the seal. All right, like that. Now you're going to need to cover it, of course, with a towel, a clean towel, or a piece of plastic wrap. And you'll want this to double in size before you put it in the oven. Now once it's doubled in size, it might take half hour, it might take an hour, depending on the temperature of your kitchen. Once it does rise, then put it in a 350-degree oven. And I find that when I make 2 coffee cakes, I have baked them separately. If you bake them separately, what I time them about 15 to 20, even 25 minutes. When I make the large one all at one time, it takes 30 to 35 to bake up if you're going to make the real large one. Okay. Let's see, what else can I tell you? Oh, and to top it off, you can make a sugar glaze with powdered sugar, milk, or water to whatever thickness that you want, or just sprinkle powdered sugar over it, and it's really a delicious coffee cake, you know. Okay, let me show you what it looks like when it comes out. And it will turn out and look like this. It makes such a beautiful coffee cake. And I glazed it with just powdered sugar and milk. All right, so we're going to cut into this, but let me rinse my hands quickly. All right, and I will grab a knife and let's cut into this. Now it makes a very light, fluffy coffee cake. It is absolutely delicious. warm or cold. You can see that beautiful pineapple and cherry on the inside, and it's so light and delicate. It's not heavy at all. It really just tastes great with a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, that type of thing. You can freeze it if you don't want to use it all and you want to just cut it in half. Just wrap it very well, double wrap it, put it in your freezer, and I've had it last in my freezer for, gee, I think a couple months. So it's, you know, you don't have to eat it all at one time. But I have a feeling when you make this coffee cake, you won't even have to freeze it, because everyone's just going to love it and want you to make it again. Well, that's it for me today. Here we have a pineapple cherry coffee cake. I hope you like this recipe, and if you do and you try this recipe, well, leave a comment. You know, tell me how yours turned out. I always like to hear from you. So, as always, thank you for watching Diane Lovetobake. As a quick reminder, all my videos are only on YouTube. And don't forget, please subscribe to my channel. So, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you soon.